But I don't know, man. I'm done doubting Dricus Du Plessis.
If you don't feel any pressure, then you don't care enough. You know, for me, the pressure comes from me putting a high expectation for myself, going out there, you know, defending my belt, going back home without it is not an option for me. So the pressure is there, not only to win, but to perform to the best of my abilities and being better than the previous outing. So
Chael Sonen has formally boarded the Khamzat Chimaev train, and he's going all in with it into UFC 319.
Chimaev's gonna kill him. Chimaev's gonna walk this boy down. This is the one for the World Championship? Are you kidding me?
Sonen complimented Dricus Du Plessis on his power, pressure, and fight IQ, but emphasized that DDP has never seen a tempest like Khamzat. Chael asserted this bout isn't about disrespect, it's about levels. And in his opinion, Khamzat is on a level DDP hasn't even stepped foot on yet, let alone dominated within the octagon.
The bookies don't care. Khamzat Chimaev is a 2-to-1 favorite coming into this one, which is insane.
This is #1 bullshit.
That is very disrespectful to Dricus Du Plessis, and I'm sure that's only motivating him and making sure that he comes in the best shape of his life. As we know, Dricus used to have some cardio issues back in the day. Apparently, he got a nose job, he couldn't breathe properly. He got those issues fixed, and the cardio's fine. He has no problem going 5 rounds against Sean Strickland. However, the pace that Sean Strickland fights at is not the pace that Khamzat Chimaev fights at.
Caio Borralho shared similar sentiments, firmly placing his bet on Khamzat emerging victorious. He supported Chimaev's tenacity, stating that it's his willpower and relentless energy that shatters opponents, not merely his strength or skill. Borralho thinks when Khamzat turns it up, opponents don't lose steam, they drown, which is why he's so sure DDP is going to struggle, because that sort of never say die fighting style you can't train for in the training camp.
Bro, this is crazy because I always bet against DDP and he always shut in my mouth. But I'm feeling like this can be a fight as fast as the fight with Khamzat and Whitaker. Like finishing the first round or beginning of the second round, you know. 60% of me say that Khamzat will finish this fight like real fast.
Chael also reminded everyone who Khamzat recently battled, former champion and elite level striker Robert Whitaker. He admitted that even though Whitaker wasn't in the same spotlight as Sean Strickland, the danger that he posed was much higher. DDP battled Strickland for the title, but according to Sonen, Chimaev's journey was more treacherous. He emphasized that names don't necessarily indicate danger levels, and Whitaker is a whole lot more dangerous than everybody gives him credit for.
Robert Whitaker had an off night. And we'll figure out what to do with this guy. He's not a star. He's not main event ready. He's not going for the world title. And then X and Y happen and they turn to Z, which was Dricus, and they bring him in for the world title against Sean Strickland. And I'm just sharing a little bit of Dricus's past, but that's a very hard night out to get over on Sean, particularly at that time. Sean was firing on all cylinders. There was no excuse. 2 guys fought, 1 guy was better at it.
Then arrived Chael's biggest buildup yet. He released what may be the most daring statement by any analyst concerning this bout, but he didn't go into detail. He professed to have information that would alter the way fans perceive this whole fight. Without disclosing details, he suggested that there's something regarding Khamzat that brings him an intangible advantage heading into UFC 319. In Sonen's opinion, once folks see what it is, they'll know why he's so sure of Chimaev winning.
As this fight with Dricus comes, guys, everything is changing, and I feel it. I feel it in my heart. Chimaev's gonna kill him. Chimaev's gonna walk this boy down. This is the one for the world championship? Are you kidding me? Chimaev was ready to be world champion back when it was Kamaru Usman, who in many people's minds, Kamaru Usman at that time had a better resume than George St. Pierre. Like, you're not right if you make that argument, but you could make it and not lose credibility. That's how good Kamaru was.
That something could very well be Khamzat's new trainer. Chael highlighted how this is no minor tweak in Khamzat's corner. It's a complete revamp. He explained how this new coaching personality has been concentrating on honing Khamzat's mental focus and tactical acuteness. As per Sonen, Khamzat didn't change camps due to defeat because he's addicted to improvement. He craves perfection, and this new trainer could hold the secret to unleashing that next iteration of him.
And he's at the training lab with Coach Sam Calavita. Now, Sam Calavita is a former coach of mine. I know what he's going through. I've been to the garage.
Chael went on to reveal more of the reasoning behind the coaching switch. He indicated that Khamzat had come to the realization that simply natural ability would not be sufficient against world-class champions. So he hired someone who's brutally honest, detail-strict with it, and puts Khamzat in deep water during camp. Sonen asserted that this coach has brought over an entirely new system, and that Chimaev's already learning faster than anticipated, which might be bad news for DDP.
Training situation that has an absolute emphasis on cardio. Far in front, right? Much like Dan Gable. Rule 1, get them tired. We'll worry about singles and doubles and front headlocks later. Get them tired. Well, at the training lab, he's never going to be shown a different way to throw a knee or to get the pointy part of his elbow or to turn his jab over. Never. They're never going to get to that. They have one emphasis, and it is your ability to endure and to push forward at a higher pace than your opponent.
And we've already seen the results. Khamzat's recent physique update has gone viral. Fans couldn't believe the transformation. Leaner, bulked in the right places, and still explosive. Many believe it's his best shape ever. Sonen agrees. He said this isn't just bodybuilder aesthetics, it's functional power. This new version of Chimaev might be stronger, quicker, and even more durable. If true, this could be another short night for whoever stands across from him. Supporting that momentum, even Khabib Nurmagomedov provided counsel to Khamzat. First, the ex-undefeated champion counseled on how to deal with DDP, be disciplined, patient, and disciplined aggression. Khabib emphasized that Chimaev doesn't have to pursue chaos, he must suffocate it, and if he adheres to the correct game plan, Khabib feels Chimaev will be leaving with his hand raised. From someone like Khabib, those aren't merely suggestions, they're threats.
Я думаю, что мое личное мнение, я бы Хамзату посоветовал бы, чтобы он в стойке дрался с ним.
Но мне кажется, вот как будто вот его стиль такой, что с первых минут атаку, как будто его надо придерживаться, нет, этого стиля?
Прикинь, если я делал бы, я бы посоветовал бы по-другому.
Да.
Вот чисто по боксу пустых, Хамзат лучше. Вот чисто по боксу. Это мое мнение. Просто здесь есть такой момент, ты можешь сфорсировать события, там раунд, 2, но если ты его не финишируешь, ты очень много энергии потратишь, а потом надо в чемпионских боях.
But Sonen is of the opinion that Khamzat may take another path. He provided 2 other game plans in his opinion Chimaev is pondering, one based on all-out urgency from the get-go, the other based on measured patience, dismantling DDP round by round. Chael opines that whatever path Khamzat may take, the result will remain the same. To him, Chimaev is too prepared, too disciplined, and too advanced now to allow this to slip. The coach, the camp, the mindset, it's all falling into place.
How does he beat him? He starts with plan A, which is to take him down and maul him. And if that doesn't work, which in the past it hasn't, he attempts to bludgeon him on his feet more than he gets bludgeoned.
Sonen also closed down the old standby argument that Khamzat has bad cardio. He directly identified Gilbert Burns' fight and stated people got something wrong. He contended it wasn't Khamzat gassing out, it was Khamzat going at a rate most men won't survive. Sonen explained fans confuse exhaustion with sacrifice. According to him, that wasn't fatigue, that was a fighter going all in to get the win. That's what warriors do.
Chimaev was very tired in the Gilbert Burns fight, according to you guys. Would you find it interesting that in the 3rd round, he threw 24 more punches than he did in the 1st round? Because the entire idea of he's getting tired is an expression that means he wilts, he gives up, and he backs off. And I just submit for you with Chimaev, that's not the case.
To hammer it home, Chael referenced the Kamaru Usman bout for people to keep mentioning it and bash Chimaev's gas tank, while forgetting about context. He said Khamzat fought a last-minute replacement, made last-minute weight changes, and still dominated in the early going. Sonen averred that both the Burns and the Usman bouts demonstrate one thing: Khamzat has more in the tank than people give him credit for, and he thinks those doubts will be banished forever after UFC 319.
Chimaev got very tired, according to you guys, in his fight with Kamaru Usman. That was 2 rounds to 1. Would it surprise you to be reminded that Chimaev won rounds 1 and 3? He lost 2. So this whole idea that he's getting tired and that's the way to beat him, he came back and won the next round. Right? If he was tired in round 2, then we know how tired he was in round 3, but he came back and he won the round.
Chael finished his point by stating that he's never seen Khamzat have actual cardio problems. It's just that he pours everything into opening rounds. He likened it to a fighter who elects to finish out instead of cruising. In Sonen's opinion, that's not a weakness, that's an arsenal. He thinks Chimaev will pace himself better now with the guidance of his new coach. But even if he doesn't, it won't make a difference, because DDP won't make it that far.
I've never looked at Chimaev and thought he gets tired, that's a bad thing. I've looked at his opponents and thought, why didn't they get as tired as he did? Whatever their 100% is, they didn't bring it. They're walking, they're breathing, they're doing their interview, they're too calm. Chimaev looks like he's going to collapse. Oh, by the way, he won the fight and he won the final round. So I only suggest for you that I don't know how much the idea of fatigue.
Though Chael had solid points and was articulate in his argument, Daniel Cormier intervened to temper the discussion. It's not right to use that evidence to write off Dricus completely, he said. DC acknowledged Khamzat could still be the better's choice, but reminded people that DDP is still undefeated, and that counts. He stated Dricus is not a guy who folds under pressure, and his record speaks to him somehow winning even when nobody believes in him.
But I don't know, man. I'm done doubting Dricus Du Plessis.
The MMA guru also threw his support behind DDP. He said this isn't going to be as one-sided as people think, and that Dricus's awkward style, awkward timing, and high fight IQ make him a real threat. He acknowledged that Khamzat is a beast, but warned fans not to sleep on the South African champ. In his words, you don't beat Whitaker and Strickland back-to-back unless you're legit, and DDP is more than that.
Who you got, Chimaev versus DDP? I've got DDP over Chimaev. I've got Dricus Du Plessis winning. I think Dricus survives round 1 and finishes Chimaev in the later rounds. Dricus has a really good fundamental base in jiu-jitsu and submission grappling, and it's something that not a lot of people know about. Dricus is bigger, stronger, I think more gritty and heart. He has more heart than Whitaker by far. He's tougher, he's more durable. He doesn't have the teeth problems that Whitaker had. So I think he's going to break Chimaev in the later rounds.
As for the champ himself, Dricus Du Plessis has remained calm, smiling his way through press appearances and interviews. He stated outright that he feels zero pressure heading into this bout. In DDP's opinion, all the hype, noise, and headlines are Khamzat's, so the pressure is on him, not the champ. Dricus claims he's just showing up to do what he always does, ride out the storm, then shut it all down when it counts.
If you don't feel any pressure, then you don't care enough. You know, for me, the pressure comes from me putting a high expectation for myself, going out there, you know, defending my belt, going back home without it is not an option for me. So the pressure is there, not only to win, but to perform to the best of my abilities and being better than the previous outing. So
still, DDP did say one thing: Khamzat is the best fighter he's ever faced up until now. But that isn't a sign of fear, it's a sign of respect. Dricus wanted to make it be known that he's not disrespecting Chimaev at all. He's approaching this fight seriously. He's studying tape, training intelligent, and ready to show that he's not merely a placeholder champion. In his opinion, when the cage closes, titles, predictions, and reputations go out the window.
You're an underdog heading into this fight. Is this going to be the toughest fight for you yet?
Well, I mean, yet to lose means that I have to lose some time, and I don't need that. I have 2 losses in my career. I know how it feels, and I'm completely fine if I never feel it again. But yeah, I'm the underdog. I've been the underdog most of my career, but yet I am the champion. So, you know, odds don't make fights. And for me, I 100% believe this is the best opponent that I've faced to date, but so was the previous one. And every time that you step in there, you are going to face the next most dangerous guy, especially as a champion. So for me, yes, this is the best fighter that the best opponent that I've ever come up against. But once again, I will show my improvements and why I am the champion.
Let us hear your picks in the comments. And if you desire more fight breakdowns such as this, do not forget to like, subscribe, and remain locked in. We're just getting warmed up.